안녕하세요.
Pound the wall.
Can y'all see me?
Pound the Walk podcast, y'all.
Pound the Walk podcast, baby. It's week 6.
Episode 6. That is true, baby. I think last episode went pretty good, despite the technical difficulties at the very end. If you guys were checked in still at that point, other than that, we're good. You know?
Yeah, I think
Right?
so. It looks like you got a little bit of a scenery change behind you there, though. But
Yeah, I'm in my girlfriend's house, so
yeah, there's no Chargers wall behind you.
no, I got the hat though to rep the gang. I also got a second team, the Commanders. Go
You got the
Commies.
commies on.
Hell yeah. But yeah, part of the scenery, y'all, and the shitty MacBook quality, but we're still having the same amount of fun, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna have a
Pound the
ton of
Wall
fun, y'all. And
podcast.
hey, we had a couple comments over the last couple weeks now. The most I guess the older one it was from the week 4 episode.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
came in like 15 minutes before we had aired this whole thing, so we had already been recording. So I didn't ignore you on purpose. We just you commented a little bit late, but that's all right.
What was the comment? What was the comment?
It was from Matthew Phillips. Talking about
okay.
Geno Smith leading the league in passing, and that was Dan. We rolled into week 5, and our boy's still up there. Geno's still up there.
Yeah,
He's
you
like
know what?
real
And
close to Dak.
yeah, and they're fun. They're fun as hell to watch. Man, they're airing the ball out to all their weapons, all three. You know, Tyler Lockett's been balling as of late, especially too. Matt Phillips. I might try to call him here on this episode. No promise if he answers. They play tonight, so that's exciting. Maybe he'll get a quick 30-second pop in or
Yeah, that'd be
something.
pretty cool.
FaceTime.
Get us some guests on the pod, man.
Hell
And
yeah,
then we
man.
did have another comment from Josh Brewer. He wants a little more bear dialogue, and I think I can do that. I think we can talk a little bit about Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean they deserve it now. They finally are winning. You know, they were playing pretty
now that they're got rid
abysmal.
of the goose egg.
Yeah, and got DeAndre Swift actually decently breaking some big runs off. So now they're worth talking about. Yeah, I mean I'm excited for them. And Caleb Williams is looking good. I hope he's not just looking over his shoulder at Jaden Daniels and whatnot. Just keep doing his thing, man. Shout out Caleb.
Hey, all the rookies, they started off pretty bad. They're all starting to kind of get into their form a little bit. So shout out to the rookies, man. Y'all look like ass the first week, but you're looking a little bit better. Bo Nix is starting to get his pace. Caleb Williams playing decent ball. Obviously, Jaden Daniels still looking like the rookie of the year potentially. So shout out rookie quarterbacks, man.
Keep commenting, y'all. Whatever you guys want, man. We appreciate the love and hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother! But hey, let's jump into it, man. It was a fun week of the football. I had a couple buys, so that kind of fucked me up on fantasy, but I still came through. But let's jump into it, man.
Yeah, man. We were neck and neck, even in our head-to-head standings coming into this week, and if I'm not mistaken, we only had one game difference. And that game was bullshit. We'll talk about it. That game was bullshit, dude. It was a Patriots game, right?
I mean, I enjoyed it personally,
So there we are, boys. There we are, boys. You were 8 and whatever, and I was 7 and whatever. What, 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, I got 7 wrong. 7 and 7.
Well, let's say
You went 8 and 6.
Four buys, so.
Man, I feel like we had better weeks, but it's all good. As far as the head-to-head, I'm still only down a game, so I'm excited to see if there's any more disparity for our next week picks. But yeah, I guess let's go over this little matchup last week. Of course, Thursday was Tampa at Atlanta, right?
Yeah, it was another good game. Came down real close at the
Holy
end
shit,
there.
yeah. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, that game was awesome. Yeah, that game was insane.
Kirko Chains, man.
Yeah, that's like the
500
second
yards.
Yeah, and he's looking clutch, man. It's getting to the point where you'll always remember him as like someone who can drive you down the field. Like it's like a Peyton Manning 2-minute drill. You know what I mean? He's done that twice, or maybe 3 times this season.
Yeah, game-winning drive. You had.
And I love Tampa. We were talking about it. Yeah, man. Drake London actually pulls through. They've been talking about Kyle Pitts, but he was getting some early on chunk plays. I mean, he's been feeding the ball, man. Kirk has been fun to watch. So is Tampa. That's what I was saying. Like we were high on Tampa. Obviously, we both had him winning, but and they didn't look too bad. Baker's out here, still doing his thing, slanging the rock. But man, what a game! That was a great way to start.
Great game to watch. It's always fun to start the week like that. And congratulations, Atlanta. Y'all played your ass
Yeah.
off. And moving on.
Yeah. New York at
Not a huge
Minnesota.
shocker here. Not a huge shocker.
Mm-mm.
You know, they did keep Justin Jefferson kind of locked up most of the game. But they still,
Yeah.
found a way to win. They're up in our, at least last week they were high on our power rankings for a reason. They're still showing out and balling out. So good job.
Yeah, New York, I think it was a lot of New York not putting it together once again. I mean, the week before, I think was that really bad weather game, but it was like a repeat of that. They couldn't put it together. This man, Aaron Rodgers, like, I don't want to put it on him. Like, more specifically, the very last play offensively where they threw the pick. I think it may have been Stephon Gilmore. Shout out the vet. But he threw this little back shoulder quick ball to Mike Williams. Like, you got just throw it up. Throw the ball up to Mike Will, let him make a play. I don't know. It just seemed kind of dumb. And we'll see what they do now. Like, obviously, they fired their fucking head coach, had Aaron Rodgers lying through his teeth on Pat McAfee show. You know, it's interesting stuff, man.
I know how you said you thought Gerard Mayo might be in first.
Yeah,
This was not foreseen at the beginning of the season, but got to do what you got to do, man. I don't know if it was
yeah,
the London game fucking people up, but Jets
yeah.
gotta figure this out, man.
I could imagine it being just like a weird. They had multiple hierarchies in there. Obviously, like Nathaniel Hackett and Rodgers. Saleh was already there, defensive minded coach. I don't know. It's just interesting. And then they promote the D coordinator. So I don't know. It just seems weird. We'll see what happens. New York season
Hey,
isn't
I,
looking
I
too
look
too
forward
good.
to seeing what happens. It should be fun either way. It's either going to be fun to watch or just funny to laugh at.
So what we
All
have?
right. Now,
Carolina at
just
Chicago.
we're going to talk a little about Chicago there, baby.
Yeah, shout out
Came up
Josh
with a
Brewer.
dub.
Yeah, I mean, as expected, obviously we both had Chicago. Caleb Williams was putting it together. Man, Caleb Williams is actually firing the ball off. I don't know. I think something that's been not really talked about was I guess finally having Keenan out there, whether he produced or not, helped spread the field. I mean, specifically on that DJ Moore touchdown, both of them ran deep crosses, were wide open. Like I think it's going to be helpful for them to have Keenan Allen just on the field at the very least. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
shout out
absolutely. I mean,
Chicago.
Keenan, I think he, three receptions on 6 targets, so they're definitely looking his way. He got,
Yeah,
33 yards. So, to your point, though, he's just that veteran presence. Knowing that skill set's out there, someone you can't overlook him at this point, and kind of spread it out, like you said. And DJ Moore, 5 receptions for century mark, 2 tutties.
yeah.
Caleb Williams balled out, man.
Hell yeah.
Three
The
300
Bears.
yards, 2 tutties, man. The Bears. And shout out
Shout out the
DeAndre
Bears.
Swift, man. He broke off for a couple good ones. I think he had 75 yards and a tutty as well. So the Bears, I know that they didn't face the hardest team in the world, but they are starting to kind of figure out who they are. They're starting to get healthy, and they're playing decent ball at this point.
Yeah, I see them competing, maybe for a wild card spot if they just keep playing the way that they played the last week and a half, 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So, the
Shout
Bears.
out Bears, man.
Talk about a beautiful game, another one. I mean, at least high scoring and dramatic game. Baltimore at Cincy.
That one, yeah, absolutely was dramatic, and I don't know if you knew. All I needed was Derrick Henry to get 2 tutties for me to hit my 5 leg parlay, and motherfucker got dropped on the 6 yard line. His interview, he
Man.
said that if he had known he was going to get tackled, he would have ran harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's football. I mean, you can't, I guess, shout out Derrick Henry, shout out the Ravens, and shout out Lamar Jackson. It almost seemed like at first he was a little flat uh, as far as like throwing the ball or like accurate balls at all, but coming into like the second quarter into the rest of the game, he just was elite in all
He looked
aspects.
good. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was early. He looked a little uncomfortable, but he figured it out, and I don't know. There's a couple weird plays I think where they snapped it and he wasn't looking or something, but they got it back together, and obviously you see they ultimately won in overtime.
Yeah, and it's another game where like man, the Bengals look, I guess at least offensively they look great, elite if not, and then their defense is so bad. It kind of reminds me of the Chargers the last few years, like or maybe not last year, but a lot of years in the past. Great offense, terrible defense. Look at you lose games type thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep like betting on Cincy coming these weeks and watch. They're just gonna keep screwing me over. I just see that happening. I don't know. Look like a good team. Bad record.
Yeah, I mean it's just poor execution, man. I mean you just can't win if you're giving up 41 points in a game.
What we got next,
All right,
man?
now we had New England
Oh, yeah.
supposed to beat Miami, and they just could not get started. So I
Yeah,
think
this is
Drake May
we
is
both
making a
had New
start this
England.
year.
Yeah, yeah, first game that'll be exciting to see. We both had New England wrong, but I mean that game was a stinker of a game, especially while like great games were going on with like the Ravens game at the same time. But I remember watching that game, especially in the end of the game. I don't know if you recall the play that got called back. He threw it in the back of the end zone. This man's heel, like I didn't know this was a rule. If I'm not mistaken, the way I read it was if you watch the play, he caught the ball 1 foot completely in bounds, and his toes, like he was on the balls of his feet on his other foot in bounds. But since his heel comes down afterwards and touches out of bounds, it's an incomplete pass, and they had to call it back. And they said it was the right call. So like I don't know, just a crazy rule
I
that I didn't
thought a
know was the
toe
case.
drag was. I thought toe drags were a thing.
See, that's why I'm like when I read it, it just seemed it seemed like I was misreading it, but like I double checked and read it. I was like, it's yeah, I don't know. It's saying like if the heel comes down immediately after that type of catch, like out of bounds, it's incomplete. They called it back. It was
That's
insane.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Hey, look, I don't know all the rules. Obviously, they make some changes. I guess if it's a bang bang thing like that, and it's not just a toe tap and fall out, the fuck
yeah, it
do I
makes
know?
no
You know?
sense to me. I'd reread it. I'm not going to do that live, but I'm gonna try to look into it. If it's any bit different, I'll correct it. But it just seemed absurd. So yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
I don't love that, but hey, it is what it is, man. Don't let the game get that
yeah.
close. So,
Next game,
all right, we have Cleveland at the Commies. Look
yeah,
at you,
man.
man. Got your Commies here.
I'm a believer, dog. At this point, there's no reason to not believe it. I mean, I their defensive backs in question, like as far as their performance every week. But other than that, I mean, Jaden Daniels and their weapons with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson together too. It's it's insane. I mean, they're elite offensively, honestly. So I'm all in with the commies,
Yeah,
man. It excites me.
it's they're looking good, man. Jaden Daniels led in passing and rushing for that game at 2 something on the air, almost 100 on the ground. So I mean, he's dual threat. He's not getting hit too much, and
Yeah,
you know you got guys like Terry McLaurin getting down the field, and so as long as they remain explosive and you know the RPOs in their favor, you don't know what's going to happen at any given point because the dude can throw it, dude can run it. You also have solid running backs. So shout out commies, man. Hopefully I get to a game here soon.
yeah, that's the plan. I mean, and also it's crazy. Like people are talking about it. I mean, it's not crazy what they're saying. It's he's playing like MVP right now. It's like a rookie MVP, first time in like
Yeah,
forever.
I
Like
mean,
so,
yeah, not just
yeah,
rookie of the year, but yeah, he could potentially get MVP if he's continuing
yeah,
at this pace. I mean, this is how I mean, it's very similar to how Josh Allen plays ball. I mean, not as physical, but you know, the dual threat kind
yeah.
of
And
thing.
he's
Um,
super efficient with it. Super efficient and
right.
just looks so confident. So yeah, man.
So
Shout out the comics. Four and
shout
one,
out.
man.
All right. Well, here's one that I wish we had. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Indy at
yeah, man.
Jacksonville. We have not won there since 2014, so it's been a decade since we've won in Jacksonville. Um,
Mm-mm.
you know, Joe Flacco, he did the best he could, man. 300 in the air, 3 tutties. Defense was starting to kind of. They started up, and then they got it together, and then they just started letting huge plays go at the end. So it also doesn't help that we didn't touch the quarterback once. We
Yeah,
just had no penetration. So you give, you know, the guy you paid that much money, who's coming off a couple of really bad games, who has to prove himself. You know, if you give him all the time in the world, then he's going to make huge plays on us, which he did. So
yeah, man. Alec Pierce was going off. I loved, and I was big on Josh Downs coming into the week. Even played him in a lot of my fantasy leagues. He was getting target after target. I think he was targeted at least double digit amount of times. So, I mean, that's promising to see production even with Joe Flacco. I mean, you'd hope when Richardson is back out there, they continue to produce with him. So we'll see, man.
yeah, with Josh Downs had 12 targets, 9 receptions. You know, that's always good to see. Alec Pierce, you know, 3 for 3 for 134 yards and a tutty. So it's nice that it's not just Michael Pittman anymore. I mean, he did get 8 receptions for 5 and a
Mm.
tutty, but they're really throwing the ball around. And I know with Anthony Richardson, it's either they're gonna hit Michael Pittman, you know, for a 6 yard gain, or they're gonna throw a bomb to AD or Alex Pierce. So it was pretty one-dimensional. So if they could slow our run game down, our pass game was very limited. But it's nice to see that Joe Flacco being out there spreading the ball around. And look, we got this close without our superstar running back. So let's say,
yeah,
we had JT in that game. It could have been a game changer. And injuries suck, but I don't feel horrible, and I low-key do wish that maybe AR sits out another week and gets that hip fixed.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Especially with the way Flacco's playing. But yeah, JT with like a mid-grade ankle sprain. It's been like a week and a half now.
Yep.
Scary stuff for a running back. So see what happens.
Yeah. No, I'd rather sit him, lose a game. I don't think we're a playoff team this year at this point. So stay healthy, Bo.
What we got next? Buffalo at Houston. This one was a controversial ending. People are mad at Buffalo. Obviously, we should be mad at Buffalo. We both got it wrong. What was it? Yeah, I have the score here: 20-23. I don't know if you recall. Like Buffalo had the ball backed up with 30 something seconds left and some change, maybe like 35 seconds, give or take. And they threw 3 incomplete passes, if I'm not mistaken. Had to punt the ball back. Field goal. Game. I don't know. Just I guess it's an ugly way to go out. I get it though. People were really mad at them. You want to they get the first down, everyone shuts up. But yeah, it was an ugly 3 plays in a row, and then should have went to overtime.
Yeah, well, armchair quarterback or quarterbacks, armchair coaches. What?
Yeah.
Everyone's
exactly.
got the best opinion when it doesn't really affect them. So. Obviously, these guys have analytics, and they've been doing this a long time. They get paid a lot more money than we do. So them making the wrong call, could we have made a better one? Who knows? But it is what it is. Again, do not let the game get so close that you're going to lose because of a first down. Sorry.
Yeah, something big we got out of that too is Nico Collins, probably the best receiver of the season so far. I think it's a hamstring or something. He's out for at least 4 weeks. That sucks.
Yeah, is it 4? I didn't know it was that long. I thought it was
he got placed.
2,
he got placed on IR. So you're definitely out. For
is he on IR? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't see you getting on
IR.
Well,
so yeah, that
hopefully
sucks,
he's solid when he comes back. Obviously, they're division rival, but it's always fun to see ballers ball, right? So.
Yeah, man. But they still got weapons. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it just sucks because I remember even last week we were saying like this is like Nico Collins' breakout year for sure. Like he's cementing himself as a dog. But yeah. What's next game?
Vegas
Raiders at Denver.
2 teams you can't stand.
Yeah, I try to neglect these games a little bit. I mean, obviously I lock in just to see. I mean, once again, I was very confident. I remember saying I was very confident that Denver was going to win despite it being a divisional game. But Denver's defense is just they look pretty good, dude. It kind of scares me. We played them this week actually, so it should be a low scoring game. But yeah, Denver, man, and Bo Nix once again. Funny. I don't know if you saw on the podium because during the game he had a heated exchange with Sean Payton, and after the game he was like, they asked him like, what was that exchange about? He goes, oh, I just told him I love him, and he said he loves me back. We hugged.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton said something a little different.
Did he?
There was they had a side by side him, Bo Nix's response and then Sean Payton's, and it was a little more of a we just got to see eye to eye, but
I didn't see that.
Just paraphrasing, but
Yeah, I like Bo Nix's answer better. It's funny.
It was his is probably the true answer. I think Sean Payton's just a little embarrassed that he got called out like that.
Yeah, man.
All right, this is where I inch a little bit further.
Oh, yeah, this was the separation game, which really blew my mind. Man, but yeah, Kyler was balling from beginning to end. But it was one of those games where I think, if I'm not mistaken, San Fran they held the lead for the majority of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, they held the lead, I think, almost the entire game. It's just towards the... And it was funny because, I'm watching on the screen and it has like the win percentage. I think at one point it was like an 89% chance that San Fran was going to win in the fourth.
Yeah,
and
I
then
recall.
I look up and it's like 52% Arizona. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? And so San Fran just couldn't close the game out. They were doing great and they fizzled out early. So good job Shout out Arizona, man.
Kyler Jung-un. Shout out Korea, man. Green Bay at Rams. We got Green Bay
I'm
at
not too
Rams. Both got this
surprised.
one right. Yeah, yeah. Rams are just, it's just so unfortunate. I know, I keep saying it. I had Rams as a wild card spot. I just need to stop saying it because obviously it's going to be wrong, dude. They're just so banged up. It's so unfortunate. What, do you even like, you just don't even question it, right? You rebuild. Like, you have to rebuild coming into the season, like drastically. Your quarterbacks, you can't, Father Time's getting Matt Stafford, even though he's been able to play. It's just unfortunate for the Rams, man.
No, I mean, look, they went all in on that Super Bowl run a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and
they got one, dude. Fuck it.
you got it. Now it's time to rebuild and get one again in another 20 years or however long it takes the Rams to get the
Yeah.
Super Bowl in between. But look, man, you got your Super Bowl. You had a star-studded team for a little bit. It was fun. Yeah, start rebuilding, brother.
Yeah, and I love McVay. I'm sure they should keep McVay. Shit, just have him revamp this roster, man. I mean, you can obviously keep a lot of key players like Puka could become the vet, etc. You know what I mean? So rebuild, dude. It's just so unfortunate for the Rams.
Yeah.
Uh, Next game, New York at Seattle.
Man, New York's fucking with me, man. I don't. They look like the worst goddamn team in the world. And every
Yeah,
time
I
I
wish I was
bet
more locked
against
in on
them,
this game. Yeah, they were without now I remember they were without Malik Neighbors, who's been an absolute dog, which I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the Bears and then we were talking about Jacksonville. These rookie receivers have been balling, man. These rookie receivers have been cooking. But without Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton was going off, bringing back some
122
vintage
yards,
looking
man.
him. Yeah, he was
He looked
going
good.
off. I remember that game. Daniel Jones is playing good football, which I still stand by. That's probably a curse more than a blessing. But hey, man, shout out Dayball and the Giants putting it together. You know what I mean, man? It's crazy stuff.
They figured it out, and Seattle's not an easy team to win over. I'm not saying that they're number one on my power rankings, but they're a tough team and they ball out, and they figured it out, man. So I guess shout out Giants for pulling one out your ass.
Yeah, being a
That's all
good
I can say.
team like this. Yeah, beating a good team. So Sunday night, which had that delay, fucking like hour and a half delay, if not more. We had Dallas at Pittsburgh. Was actually a good. These are the type of games I like. I like this game more than your high scoring. I mean, obviously the Ravens Cincy game was great, but like I love these games. It was even though it kind of was ugly. It was just a fun game. Obviously, Dallas won. We both got that wrong. Dak Prescott came in the clutch, throwing it to was it Jalen Tolbert, I believe is his name. Uh, the player two before, what an elite play by a red zone defense, goal line defense to punch the ball out with their helmet type thing. Crazy stuff. Great game.
Awesome game to watch. Yeah, that rain delay kind of pissed me off a little bit just because I had a 6 a.m. work meeting, but all nonetheless, good game to watch. Dak balled out, like you said. He had over 350 yards. Jalen Tolbert, I think he led in receptions that game too. Had that clutch moment there. So beat a tough team. I'll give them that. Pittsburgh's defense is, I still think, one of the better defenses. So
Hell yeah, brother. Now we had
all right.
Monday night, your classic Kansas City wins on primetime football against the Saints. Derek Carr gets hurt too. Wah wah wah.
Yeah,
Very
that was
unfortunate.
it was actually an okay game to watch, though. I mean, I didn't hate it. Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes looked great. Kareem Hunt had an awesome
Kareem
game.
Hunt, vintage Kareem Hunt.
Schuster, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Schuster, yeah.
Juju looked fast and strong. He was catching the ball across the middle and just flying, man. It was the best game I've seen Juju
Juju
play
looked
maybe
good.
ever.
Yeah,
First game
he
in
looked
he's played like
really
that in
good.
like 3 years. Yeah,
Yep.
so
So
great game.
everyone, even Kelsey, had a productive night. There was say what you want about the Saints, but I'm sorry, the Chiefs, but they put it together, and everyone who needed to step up, they balled out. So
Hell yeah, man.
good job, Tay Swift.
So you're up one game now, which, it's fine. I'm okay with that. We got plenty of football to guess later on, and maybe I'll make a little comeback here this week. So What we got next? Do we want to merge right into our power rankings? Is that what we're gonna do here? Our top three power rankings coming into this week
Yeah,
now
we
because
can
what unfolded.
we can uh, we can we can jump in real quick. Who you got?
Yeah, man. All right, so I guess we'll go like 3-3, right? So number three, I'm gonna actually maintain. I'm just having fun with this, y'all. I'm gonna maintain. I believe my third was the same thing last week. I still have the Ravens, looking deadly. Uh, yeah, their defense looked abysmal, but they played what I call an elite offense. I said it earlier, and I mean it. They played a great offense, played a good competitive team, and once again competed and won. So yeah, I got the Ravens at my number three.
Ooh, so that's crazy that you say that, because I too have the Ravens at number three.
Yeah, man.
Look, Joe Burrow almost put up 400 yards. I mean, you would think a team like that is going to win, right? And Jamar Chase had half of that, right? I think he had like almost 200 yards himself.
Dude, he was having a
Um,
field day.
so for your defense to be just letting up 38 points, right?
Yeah,
And then you can still come back and win. Derrick Henry pulled one out the ass towards the end there. He's proven that he's not washed up yet. Lamar's playing great, smart football there in the second half. So
yeah,
yeah, they have a couple of losses, close losses, but I think they're still a very powerful team, and they're going to give most, if any, other team in the league a run for their money.
yeah. So I guess we'll go right to number two. My number two, uh, it I'm not gonna put the Vikings in my top three anymore. Uh, so I guess I'm gonna put the Kansas City Chiefs as my number two. I've had them at number one throughout the past few weeks. So I'm just gonna put them at number two just because they just don't have the consistency. They're not healthy. I don't know, and uh, they're not playing good football, regardless if they're pulling out their ass wins. They're not playing the best football. I mean, despite last week against the Saints, but I just see them kind of falling apart and fizzling out. Maybe I don't know. But it's still my Super Bowl pick. But I have them at number two.
Shocker, I also have them at number two. Um, they're not. I don't think they're playing bad ball. I think they're starting to actually put it together a little bit better personally, from what I saw. Um, there's better production. I think there's been a few less calls that have gone their way, that have been like really blatant. Now there was that miss PI, kind of late, but whatever. I mean, that shit happens, right? It's in real time. It's bang bang. Sometimes you miss it. Of course, everything's super obvious when we watch it Monday morning in slow mo. But I think they are starting to put it together a little bit. I think there has been a little more production and not just kind of luck of the draw. So they're at two for me.
All right, and big reason why I put KC at two because I couldn't live with myself. I need to put them at one at least 1 week before it's too late. My number one is the goddamn Washington Commanders, baby. They're looking too hot right now. They're like everyone's favorite team right now. You check on ESPN, etc. Jaden Daniels is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. They have great weapons as long as they stay healthy, which they so kind of have so far. Their defense is amazing right now. I mean, other than DBs, like you got Luvu out there flying around. I really like Chin up top at safety. I don't know, man. Go Commanders, baby. 4-1, undefeated in my heart.
I've seen something very similar. I think his name was Robert Griffin III.
Oh, okay. We can't put bad juju on Jaden. I meant to say that earlier too. We keep foreshadowing how frail he is. I can just see it like I don't know. I just don't want to speak on it anymore. Just
I
no more
just
bad
look
juju for them.
where if what you were saying is while they're still as hot as they are, fine. I'll accept that answer. They are playing, powerful offense football. Their DBs are getting cooked a little bit, but if you can get enough coverage, get some guys in the backfield, disrupt the quarterback, it's good enough, right? And clearly, it's been good enough. I still have the Vikings at number one. They're still playing incredible football. They even with Justin Jefferson getting kind of locked up there, he still
Yeah,
produced. They're still winning games and they're doing it well. Their defense knockout football right now. no, is Aaron Rodgers playing his best? No, but they kept him at bay, and they're even
Yeah.
without their number one weapon, they're slinging the rock where it needs to go to get them points. So give me Vikings skull.
Yeah, I mean, hey, not to disrespect them at all. Usually that's been biting me in the ass every time I do that. But like Sam Darnold, just it kind of seemed so like abysmal of a performance that I'm like, I'm already over it. But hey, comeback player of the year still. I meant to say that. I haven't said that yet this episode. But I still got Vikings in like my top five. Yeah, they play their defense too. They have not they've been playing at the same level every week. Their defense, man. Van
It's
Ginkel,
very consistent,
god
and
damn.
look, like you said, Sam Darnold did not have a great game, but it was good enough to win, and his supporting cast it kind of brought him up. So, um, dubs are dubs, man, and they're still getting dubs.
Yeah. Another random thing I was just thinking about, man. This man Xavier McKinney for the Packers has a pick every week, right? Maybe even more, two
I
in one
think
game.
it
I forget.
is, yeah. It's
Yeah, it's insane. He's having one of those seasons. We're witnessing another great. I mean, it happened last year with what Deron Bland. Bless you. I'll take that. I'll pretend. I'll believe that's a sneeze, right? That was a sneeze.
oh no, I shit myself, man. Just
Okay.
I
Bless
got
you.
the cough into the fart.
Well, we got 15 or so more minutes, dude. So power through. We got our picks. This is our chance, my chance to beat you. So, all right, let's see it. Not the shit. Let's see the picks.
I fucking muted and still coughed. Shit. Fucking stupid, man.
All right, man. Let's get this
All
going.
right, let's get to our week 6 predictions here, man.
I didn't see your picks yet, so I'm excited to see.
Yeah, we got these in kind of late, so let's see.
Yeah, I picked a lot of away games. Oh, you did too, though. So that's good. As I was picking them, I was like, oh, this is kind of a lot of away games to pick.
No, but it's like the home teams for some of these versus the away. I mean, not clearly, but like
Oh, we have the
it's
exact
just.
same pick. Oh no, no, we don't. No, we don't. Okay, cool, cool. Hey, what a great game to have a difference on. That's
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
fun.
say that's the one I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be
yeah,
a fun one
yeah.
to.
All
But
right.
hey,
Well,
let's
yeah.
start at the top, man. It's tonight.
Yeah.
It's tonight.
San
We
Fran
got
at
San
Seattle,
Fran.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
man.
both got San
Seattle's coming
Fran.
off a loss.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
think San Fran. This is a must-win game for them because I think they're 0-2 in the division or 0-3 in the conference or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
they are behind as far as standings in their divisions here. So this is a
yeah.
must-win game for them. So I think they're going to pull it through. And yeah, they typically play okay on prime time. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, must-win game is the best way I can put it. I mean, and we San Fran is still the best put together roster. Like their offensive line is as best as it comes. They just lost like Hofunga, the safety who's a beast. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But even with that, Fred Warner's playing like a maniac. I don't know. I got San Fran beating Seattle. They need this dub. So.
Yeah, Fred Warner is healthy again, and I think Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, I looked at their injury report. They are running pretty deep, so I don't think they have a whole lot of depth in case someone does, need a breather or gets hurt. So I think San Fran, they're still a little banged up, but not nearly as bad as Seattle. So give me San Fran.
All right, next game.
Here we go. All right, more Chicago Bears talk.
Yeah, yeah, and we both got the Bears. It's going to be another London game, 9:30 a.m. Got to wake up a little extra early this Sunday. But yeah, I got Chicago. They've been putting it together, like I said, the last 2 weeks, week and a half or so. DeAndre Swift's been breaking out some good runs. Their offensive line, I guess, obviously because of that, they must be playing a little bit better. I love the way Caleb Williams has been spreading the ball out, and Keenan Allen, like I said, he's healthy, so him just being on the field is going to help. The Bears.
The Bears. Yeah, I mean they're continuing to improve every week. Caleb Williams getting a little more confident. Curious to see if the early London game is going to kind of throw him off or anyone else off on the Bears. Because time zone and then obviously being all the way in London, could kind of mess things up. But I don't think Jacksonville's playing great ball. Indy has a very soft secondary to begin with, so those massive plays I don't think they're going to get at Chicago. So give me the Bears.
Oh yeah,
We got Arizona
what?
at Green Bay. This one was kind of tough for me just because Arizona did just knock out San Fran, and they're still playing really good ball. But I know that Jordan Love's healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and they're Green Bay's a solid team. You know, they looked really good the first couple weeks. Obviously, Jordan Love gets hurt. They don't produce at the exact same level, but you know, they're still a really good team, and I think being in Green Bay is in their favor.
Yeah, I agree. And this is also I also agree on the fact that this was probably one of the most up in the air games to pick from. Like you said, Arizona just beat San Fran. This also, I mean, not a divisional game. It kind of feels like it. You know, that rivalry matchup, like a lot of recent great playoff games between the two. I don't know, but yeah, I got Green Bay, man. Jordan Love with all those weapons, and I keep thinking about how Arizona really got blessed with a dub last week. San Fran seemed like they should have won that game. Like you said, 82% win percentage at one point.
Yeah,
You know what I
look, and
mean?
it happened on a field goal late, so it they really should have probably won that game. I do believe that San Francisco is a better team. They just did not execute when it mattered late in the game.
Yeah.
But then we got my boys at Tennessee.
Your
Um,
boys.
I think they're still figuring things out under Joe Flacco, but if he is playing, I think Joe's getting a little more comfortable out there, spreading the ball around. The team's getting a little more confident. I think that Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be back for this, and with that being said, I think pound the rock and kind of mix things up. And if not, if AR is coming back and JT's healthy, that RPO has been deadly. And based on what I saw before he got hurt, Richardson is starting to get a little more accurate and starting to take a few more deep shots. So I like Indy on this one.
Pound the bar. Yeah, man. I also got Indy. I don't even know, is Will Levis healthy? Is he starting? Is it going to
I
be
hope
Mason
so.
Rudolph?
I really hope he's
Um,
healthy.
make a meme again. At that point, I don't care. Tennessee hasn't proven to be anything at all this season. It's unfortunate. I'm sure a lot of I got one Titan friend. I'm sorry, Rocky. But yeah, man, got Indy. So we got Houston at New England. What do you got?
Yeah, look, I think Houston's got it right. I think we both agree, just because New England has been struggling all year. Now they have a rookie quarterback against a pretty elite defense.
Yeah.
Even without Nico Collins, they have weapons. Oh no, obviously. So give me Houston all day on that one.
Yeah, Houston's defense, you're right. They're like slobber knocker defense, man. They're running around, flying, winning competitive games. And then, yeah, Drake May's first start. I hope I can see him actually showing his athleticism, maybe running around, maybe running for his life a little bit. But, yeah, that doesn't change anything. I got Houston with that dub as well.
All right, now we got Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Look, I know Tampa Bay just lost, but it was a close game. I think they need to kind of get back into the groove of winning things. You mentioned Derek Carr is injured, so
Yep.
uh, New Orleans is proving to be a little inconsistent on offense, and Tampa Bay they can explode when they get things clicking, and I think they are going to kind of figure things out this week. So give me Tampa.
Yeah. I mean, Tampa is one of those teams they're like the underdog that can really sneak their way through the playoffs and maybe go on a little run. And New Orleans, I think they're starting Spencer Rattler, fucking, who used to be like the number one ranked quarterback in the nation coming out of high school, and then had to like transfer because he lost his job, etc. Uh,
Never heard of him in my life. I'm
yeah,
sorry if you watch this for some reason. I still don't care, but
yeah, he has an interesting story. Like people like give him a hard time because he like from a lot of videos he seemed like an asshole. It was kind of funny, but yeah, I don't see them pulling one out. I got Tampa as well. So what do we got
all right,
next?
we got the Browns at Philly.
Yeah, so both got Philly. It's probably going to be an ugly game, man. Cleveland. The more I watch each week, the more I start to turn into like the majority where I'm like, man, Deshaun Watson is just so trash. He misses a lot of looks. He misses a lot of open receivers. I think it's a mental thing where he tries to pull the ball at the wrong time and run. And it's unfortunate. I want Nick Chubb to come out there. He's been practicing. He's probably not going to play for another few weeks, at least full time. That is, and Philly, for what it's worth, they play just as like ugly ball, but they're a better team. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, look, I
and they
think
should be
they
good.
need to. They're coming off a bye week, so they're well rested. They have a really good running back. They have a decent quarterback that just needs to kind of slow the game down a little bit. And play more consistent ball. Like you said, they've been playing ugly. Hopefully, they kind of reassess the whole situation and just clean it up because they have the potential to be a decent team.
Yeah. Let's just remind it one more time. Last time they were on the football field, they had 0 yards in the first half. It's crazy, or almost the whole first half. But yeah, this is our first difference, and it's a great matchup just in general. But man, this excites me. Just thought of it. Battle of the
Yeah,
Beltway.
no, it's yeah, battle of the Beltway, baby. I kind of wish it was in Washington. I'd probably go to the game, but Baltimore's just a little far for me on a Sunday. But I'll enjoy it on the couch. I don't know what your plans are for,
Mm-hmm.
but I got Baltimore. Derrick Henry, still looking hot. Lamar is figuring things out. Uh, he's playing closer to that MVP level football. So you know, if they can keep getting it right, I think they have a chance. It's gonna be it's gonna be a shootout though. I think.
Yeah. Yep. Hell yeah. I definitely got a little emotional making this decision, but that doesn't mean logic was completely thrown out the window, man. Like I said, Washington's my number one power ranked team this week, coming into this week, dude. Jaden Daniels, if he keeps playing the way he does, he's gonna light up Baltimore's DBs, dude. So I hope that happens.
We will see because we can also say the same thing if you know Lamar gets into a groove. He could be lighting up Washington DBs, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, Lamar's like the sneaky MVP quarterback this year already. Like people haven't really been talking about. He's been playing elite, like better than he's probably ever played before. Screw the statistics. Like I've just been watching him play. He's been playing amazing.
he looks
But
good.
Jaden
He looks
Daniels,
good.
yeah, this would be awesome. This is
All
gonna be an
right,
awesome matchup.
and we got your boys at Mile High at 405.
Hell yeah, baby. You know I'm gonna be locked in. I've been fiending for some Charger football, man. Coming off a bye week. Everyone hates the early bye week, but at least it kind of conveniently happened to us for us because obviously with the Chargers we were injured like crazy. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are at least practicing. Don't know what that means if they're gonna play. Uh, Derwin James is off the stupid ass suspension. Uh, Joey Bosa's still hurt, but that's the one positions where I'm actually really confident in our depth with Tuli Tuipulotu, I think is how you say his name. He's a dog. But yeah, man, I think this is gonna just be a great defensive matchup. Uh, this will be a game against a white cornerback. That'll be fun to watch. But like I said, Denver's defense scares me, dude. So I see it being a low scoring matchup, and us pulling through. Yeah, this is what's going to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the bye week is certainly going to help. It came at the right time. Herbs was getting a little banged up out there. If Joe Alt comes back, that's going to be huge. And
Mm-hmm.
just that mental break, just having that week off is massive, especially at a divisional game on the road. Denver, I think I did mention Bo Nix is starting to get better, but he's not playing miraculous huge number football. He's getting it done, but both defenses are pretty tough. This is one of those games that if either team won, I wouldn't be horrendously surprised. I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that the Chargers have a better run defense and they can apply a little more pressure to a rookie quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
so give me
So,
the
yeah.
Chargers.
Something that does concern me that I don't hear many Chargers fans like on podcasts or on Twitter talk about is our lack of production at running back outside of J.K. Dobbins. And I mean, obviously, the finger points at mainly Gus Edwards right now. I think Gus Edwards' playing time is going to naturally fall down, and we're going to have Kamani Vidal, who we drafted. I don't really even know him that well, but we need. What I'm really saying is, uh, if we don't see another running back, we can't just rely on J.K. Dobbins, who's fucking torn his Achilles a million times and stuff. Even though he's been playing pretty good, you need that 1-2 punch. Something that Denver actually kind of has in Jaleel McLaughlin now, so that scares me. But yeah, our defense has been elite every week. I don't see why we wouldn't be this week against the Broncos. Boom,
All
bolt
right.
up.
Another good matchup, I think, in my eyes, is going to be Pittsburgh at Vegas. We both have Pittsburgh there. I know Vegas isn't playing the most incredible football, but their defense it's solid. And I'm not sure. I think Fields is still under center, right, until further
Yeah,
notice.
yeah.
So
It's a weird thing. It's weird.
I'm curious to see how this one's going to go. If I don't know, I think this is going to be another low scoring game. this could be won by a field goal or so. But I
Yeah.
still feel good about Pittsburgh. They hung in there with Dallas, who had a pretty big game. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, there's no question the Steelers defense is like a top tier defense. Like you just said, they contain Dallas, which is supposed to be like a fireworks offense. Uh, I also think the Raiders defense is really good. Not as proven, obviously, but their defense is really good, dude, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't know. The Raiders are in such an ugly situation with like Devontae Adams being injured, not sure if he's even like playing, and then now Antonio Pierce is saying he's playing. Like I don't know. It's such a weird situation. Like I feel like Pierce needs is the next coach to go. Like we were talking about. Watch. That's my prediction. Bold take. Antonio Pierce next coach to get fired.
All right, lock it in, y'all. I don't know if they have that on FanDuel or not. We got Detroit at Dallas. We both went Detroit. Dallas, yes, they come off a win against a stout defense, like we were mentioning. But yeah, I still feel like Detroit's got that dog in them, and they're just a better team in my opinion.
Yeah.
They want to win, and when they've been on the field for everything I think except for like one game. They've been playing lights out football, and if I'm not mistaken, they're coming off a bye week as well. So they're rested.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Detroit as well. Dallas, even they beat the Steelers, which is a competitive football team, but that doesn't prove anything in my opinion. It was. I love those type of games, but it was still ugly. I could see this one being like pretty ugly actually. I'm sure the odds are pretty good on FanDuel. I'm really confident. I might put some money on Detroit. Maybe like alternate spread. I could see them running it up.
There we go. All right, we got Atlanta at Carolina. At this point, Atlanta's playing really well. Carolina's Carolina.
Yeah,
I don't need to kind of put any more input into this game.
Yeah, I mean, shout out the Bears beating Panthers, but they're the fucking Panthers. I don't know. They're still an NFL caliber team, but Kirko Chains, baby.
You like that?
No, yeah,
you like that?
I like that. You like that? I like that. Yeah, I mean Atlanta all day, baby. Cincinnati at New York.
Oh my
Watch,
God!
we're gonna get this one. We're gonna get this one wrong. I'm not switching. Like I'm just gonna say I'm not switching, but we're gonna get this one wrong.
I just can't choose the Giants over Cincinnati out of principle. I just can't.
Yeah, but it's like but this year, man, it's crazy. It's gonna.
Yeah, NFL has been a little drunk this year, but look, Cincinnati, they came real close to beating one of the better teams in football. Within my top three, power rankings. Yes, they lost, but it was a very close game. Joe Burrow threw for, like I said, almost 400 yards, and it was beautiful to watch. And I just don't think Daniel Jones on a primetime game has it in him.
Yeah. This probably will be the week where like finally Daniel Jones plays the way that at least I think Daniel Jones is, and people make fun of him. He'll become a meme again or something. I don't know. We'll see. Which leaves that last game Monday night. Buffalo at the New York Jets. We both got Buffalo, obviously. Right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers' first game as the new head coach. That was a joke. That was a good joke, right?
It's probably not a joke, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man.
But look,
did you see? My bad. Did you see on Pat McAfee's show? They were like, "Aaron, I like you had the wired headphones, man. Keeping it old school." And he goes, "Yeah, man, protect the brain." I don't know. It just made me laugh really hard. It made me laugh so hard. I mean, it was such a cool way to say it. Like, it was a cool response. I don't know. Now I'm not hurting my brain. Right. Man. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Buffalo's coming off a kind of an ugly loss, but they lost to a solid defense. And I think that this is one of those kind of prove it that you belong here kind of games against secondary. That's pretty tough. So, but on the flip side, I just don't know if the Jets' offense is going to get it together, especially with the coach change and everything. But maybe that's what they needed. I don't know. But typically the week after, it's never super fluid. But I could be wrong.
I think Buffalo's defense is going to be the ultimate side of the ball that conquers the game. Like the New York Jets defense is obviously great. I could see Buffalo not being able to put as many points as some people might guess. It might be similar score to like the last Buffalo game against Houston, like 20s. But I got Buffalo, man. There's no question about it. I don't want to. I'm not gonna bet on a new coaching system's first attempt at something. Usually that happens when like an interim head coach comes in and wins the first game. I feel like that usually happens, but no. A lot of away games this week.
Ton of away games chosen. I don't think the tiebreaker really matters since it's only a one
38, 41.
So, all right. Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see how this goes tonight, right? A couple hours, we get the kickoff, and look forward to the week, man. I love me some football.
Yeah, this is the way it always is. Like this podcast, like once we get to this point, it just like feels like it's kicking off not only like the weekend, but football week. Oh yeah,
it's the
hell yeah,
it's the Monday night or the Thursday night showdown preview, right? You know, when we record this, it's time.
So that leaves us locked in on here, our first chance to make some money, man. Right?
Yeah. So I think it's proven that we're both pretty shitty bettors. I think you finally got one more over me last week, so I'm the slightly shittier bettor.
Oh, we were missing Juan Jennings. Or was it not Juan Jennings? What was it? I forget. But we were missing like one touchdown, right?
It was like one tutty missing, yeah.
Oh, Chris Godwin.
Godwin just could not get in
They threw in a Sterling Shepard, and I swore I thought it was Chris Godwin. Yeah, that hurt. Yeah. It's all right, but what we got now?
All right, so I think we are going to run another four-legger, right?
Yep.
You want to start with yours?
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk over on receptions. Right now it's at 4.5, so that means 5 catches or more. He's coming off probably his best game of the season so far. Proving a lot of doubters wrong. People were talking trash. So I think he's going to just keep carrying that momentum, and so is Brock Purdy as far as looking his way. Ayuk over 4.5 catches. And then I got Brock Purdy over 14.5 rushing yards. That's his line, over rushing yards. Brock Purdy is... I call him elite, and his eliteness comes from pocket presence and confidence in the pocket, and with that, he knows how to scramble. So I think the lack of the Seahawks stars at the edge, I think he's going to be able to slip through some big holes and just get like 14 yards easy, 15 yards easy. So those are my two.
All right, let's get Purdy through some big holes.
Yeah.
All right, So I got DK Metcalf on the over on receptions. I believe it's still sitting at 4.5.
Yep.
So like the exact same with Ayuk, we just need 5 or more, and give me a DK Tutty, man. I think he can break one off, man. That dude's got ridiculous speed, and anything's possible. I can't believe the odds are like a 125. I mean, you chuck it up to him, anyone's game, man. So,
yeah, and they throw the ball, man. Geno threw that one touchdown to him last week. It was like a laser. Like I think it was a primetime game. I actually really like this bet, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it, I really like this bet. This one feels really good
for once. Yep. So I think it's a plus $900 right now, right?
Yeah, and I profit boost, so I'm like plus $11.70, $40 for $500, dude.
Beautiful. So I guess I must lose more money than you do or something, because my max bet was only allowed to be $10, but that's still like $200. That's not bad.
Dude, we're gonna hit. I'm actually feeling this one. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh.
So that's a good way to cap this off.
I feel good about that. I think that's a good segue into the end of this thing here. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. Looking forward to an awesome weekend of football. I don't know why. Why didn't I put up the Ayuk jersey?
Oh, yeah, that would have been sick. Yeah. At this point, you got so many jerseys that you probably do have the right jersey for any Thursday night matchup. That's pretty sick.
Gracious.
Dude, I meant to say this too. This is 15 yards now. It's probably the dumbest thing that's came out of football this season. I would have thought the hip drop tackle. Haven't seen that once. But this, they did this to your boy Josh Downs, right? Yeah, he went like, boom.
Nothing.
The ref went like this.
But Darius Slayton did the same thing. Darius Slayton did the exact same thing, and he got called.
Yeah, they called. I think Josh Downs got called too on your game. So it's like the dumbest thing to happen in football. So dumb.
I hate it.
I love guns in football, baby. This is America. This is guns in football.
That's America, man. You see, I'm in camo, brother.
I bring my gun to football all the time. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, you look like you'd bring a gun to a football game.
Allegedly.
And no one would even know. They wouldn't even notice you.
Oh, you can't see me.
Just in a full gully suit, just like at a football game. All right, yeah. Hey, Pound the Walk podcast, 55 minutes, man. That's a little bit over. Whatever.
Look, we're all right, but hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in again. 15, baby.
15 yards.
And if y'all got any more comments, questions, stupid things to say, if you want to jump on, we didn't even call your buddy. You know, if y'all want to hop on, let us know, man. If you want to talk about shit about your team, you know, if they're playing a primetime game or something,
yeah, man.
let us know, man. You know, we'd love to have you on.
Pandawa!
Panda!
Goodbye. Harold, goodbye. Oh, not again.
I can't find the mouse.
He put again.